All right, so scalping, intraday, and swing trading with one indicator. We're gonna add it 3 times with different levels. Basically, some of the stuff that I went over before, but I never recorded the session, so I just want to do it again so I can record it. Um, if you guys have questions, feel free to unmute and ask the questions. All right, so the exponential moving average, we're gonna add a 3, a 10, and a 50. That's it. Exponential moving average, 3, a 10 EMA, and a 50 EMA. Three EMAs, and then we can take it straight to the chart. I'm going to show you guys how to add the EMAs to your chart as well and what to look for. So in my opinion, I look at the 50 EMA is separating from buys and sells. If price is above, if price is above the 50 EMA, I'm looking for buys, and if price is below the 50 EMA, I'm looking for sells. And so anytime price breaks above, I automatically shift from sell to buy. These levels act as support and resistance. You guys see how price broke through the 50 EMA, went back up and retested again, and then keep on dropping. So it was multiple opportunities on this for us to enter this setup or these setups and ride them down. Easy money. Looking at this, 70 down to 30, that's about 40 pips just by using the EMA, the 50 by itself. And that's why I say it can be a strategy you can use all by itself without any other indicators, just this one 50 EMA, and you can develop a trading strategy. You can say, okay, anytime candle close above the 50 EMA, I could go ahead and enter in the position that candle broke out, just like this one buy candle right here. This would have been an indication to buy. You go in, probably get 10 pips and call it that. It doesn't matter the time frame right now. This is the 15. When you see price find support here, you can go ahead and enter again. But I more so like these ones here where you can actually see a clear, strong breakthrough. And then you can enter here, ride it up, and that'll probably be about 40 pips there, 30, 40 pips. But no headache, hardly any drawdown. But just remember, for the purpose of this training, remember anything above the 50 EMA, look for buys, and anything below, look for sells. All right, the 10 EMA, I added it on the chart here as well. It also acts as support and resistance. These guys, you see, if you look at the candles, you see how they're struggling to break above. So it acts as support and resistance. It helps with tighter entries, and it's not okay by itself. You probably need to add another EMA, which would be the next EMA, the EMA 3. So we went over the 50, the 10, and now the 3. How I look at this is the EMA 3 is like the signal line. It kind of moves with price, and so I basically whenever it crosses the EMA 10, depending on if it's above the 50 EMA or below the 50 EMA, would indicate whether it's a buy or sell for me. And so if I see here where the 3 EMA cross the 10 EMA here above the black line, that's my indication to buy. So price went from here where it crossed over, where red went above the blue, above the 50, and it went all the way up here, came back down. And so that's basically easy money just by the crossover with the red crossing over the blue, the 3 crossing over the 10 above the 50. I see that easy money, something simple. If you just got started today, this is something that you could put into practice. We have another cross here where if you follow this red line here and you follow it up, you can see that it crossed the blue line over here. So this area here would be considered our entry. So at the close of this candle, this would be my entry, and I'd be looking to ride it all the way up here. So easy money, no stress. We can get to the chart where it's a lot clearer and a lot easier to read and see. All right. So I want you guys to take a look at this area here where the red line crossed below the blue line above the 50 EMA. That's a no-go, that's a no trade, no confirmation. I want it to cross above, above. Now when it's below, we're looking for it to cross below, and then we can ride out to these levels here. So I just want to point that out. I will go over that again, but because I had it on the screen, and I guess we're saying crossover, cross above, cross above, cross up, cross down below, cross up above the 50, cross down below the 50. I probably confused that just now. All right. So when to buy? When the EMA 3 crosses above the EMA 10, above the EMA 50. So when we look at the chart over here, we see EMA 3 is the red, EMA 3 is the red, EMA 10 is the blue, and EMA 50 is the black. When red crosses above the EMA 10, which is the blue line, above the EMA 50, which is the black, EMA 3 crosses above the EMA 10, above the EMA 50, that's the signal to buy. EMA 3 crosses above EMA 10, above EMA 50, above. All right. So I ask myself, if it's confusing or you ain't 100% sure, I just ask these two questions. Did the EMA 3 cross above the EMA 10? If the answer is yes, move on to the next question. Is the EMA 3 and the EMA 10 above the EMA 50? If the answer to both of those questions are yes, go ahead, open up MT4, press buy, and you can use a 15 pip stop loss for most pairs, and you would have gotten 50 pips easy. I like to go TP1 10 pips, TP2 25 pips, and TP3 50 pips. When you go, by the end of this lesson, I want to give you guys some homework, and you can kind of gauge where you want to put your stop loss based on the homework. And so TP1, TP2, TP3, 10 pips, 25 pips, 50 pips. It's just what I use. It could go a lot more. It could go 10 pips and then turn all the way around. So if you're just getting started, just stick with 10 pips TP and then move. As you get more advanced, more experience, then you can increase your pip count for the TP. But easy money, as soon as you see it cross over, you can wait for the close of the candle, enter. This is the close of the candle head. This would have been my entry. Price would have gone in the opposite direction first. I would have been okay because my stop loss is well under here. I only risking 1-3% of my account anyway. And then it comes back up, goes into profit, deep into profit, hits target 3, no problem, easy money. Stop loss didn't get hit, I cool. Sell on the other hand is the opposite of the buy. When the EMA 3 crosses below the EMA 10, and it crosses below, red was on top here, and then it went below the EMA 10, and it's also below the EMA 50. And you could jump in, you could have gotten 50 pips easy. This here, I believe, is about 30 pips. Either way, you're just trying to get in profit. 25 pips, TP1 and TP2 definitely would have hit. And if you had your stop loss in profit at TP2 because you 30 pips in profit, you got kicked out. And then guess what happened? You got another cross over here where you could now ride it back down to TP3 from the first position. The red is on top, EMA 3 is on top. It crosses below the EMA 10, which is also below the EMA 50. And now you can ride it down, hardly any stress. And you just ride it all the way down and probably get more than 25 pips because TP2 probably would have been here. You get a better entry over here, and you ride it down. Easy money. No need to stress. No need to stress. Easy money. So just ask yourself these two questions in the sell. Did the EMA 3 cross below EMA 10? And both of them below EMA 50. That's the confirmation for the sell. For the buy, EMA 3 cross above the EMA 10. And both of them are above the EMA 50. So if you look at the EMA 50, whatever on top, if you see price on top, you're looking for a buy. So you're looking for EMA 3 to cross above the EMA 10, and in a sell, prices below the EMA 50. So you're looking for a sell, so you're looking for the signal line to be below to basically push price into the direction that you want it to go, which is in a sell because it's below the EMA 50. All right, so when not to trade, I don't normally trade this during the hours when the market kind of slows down. Not a lot of volatility, not a lot of money being pumped in. And to me, that's the hours of 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. I kind of wait till 7, 8 p.m. But around those times, from 5 to 7 Eastern Standard Time, the market is pretty slow. Uh, plus, the spreads are wider. And then after about 1 o'clock, after about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the markets ain't moving that much, so I just kind of stay away from it. Another time when not to trade is if you're tired and you're saying you have to make this money. If you ain't mentally focused to trade, if your mind isn't there to trade, don't even bother with it. You have a lot going on, and you say, "Oh, I ain't trade today. I need to trade." No, you don't need to trade. Just chill out, get your rest, come back with a fresh mind, fresh eyes, and you'll be good to go. All right. So that's all I have on this. I am going to go to the chart now, and let's look for some of these setups. Let's look for some of these setups that happened already. So I'm going to take off the EMA 10 and the EMA 3 and just look at the EMA 50 for now. Okay, so just looking at the EMA 50, we're looking at when price is below, price just dropping, it does a pullback and just dropping. When price goes above, it starts to go up. So anytime you see price above the 50 EMA, you should automatically be thinking buy. And when you see price below, be thinking sell. If you're using market structure, you may get in before the confirmation is given. You may get an earlier point. You might start to sell from here because you're using market structure. That's the joy of trading market structure. But I don't mind getting in here as well. It's pretty tight entry. Should that, like with that wick there with the break and retest, that's still a good place to get in to ride it down for 100 pips. Because you got this retest here, that's cool for me. Good. Same thing here. Price struggling to break it. You see it move away, you enter. 50 pips, I'll take it. So once you look at it like this, sell below the 50, buy above the 50. Whenever you add the other EMAs in, the 3 and the 10, when you add them back in, it kind of makes sense. So none of these would have given us an alert. This one would have given us an alert, and I would have been on the open of this candle. So this would have been my entry. Stop loss, 15 pips, 15 pips, 50 pips is the third TP, and we would have got that easy peasy, no headache, no worries. On to the next one. The market had a gap here. We had another cross here. So we go ahead and we place it. Let's say this candle gave us the actual alert. Do my stop loss first. 15, and it's not going to hit every time. 14 pips, so TP1 would have hit. And once TP1 hit, you should remove all the risk off that trade. Put your stop loss at break even. Take a partial profit at 10, let the rest of it ride. However, go move the stop loss to break even. This here, even if you left it open, you saw this happen. You also got another cross. where price where EMA 3 went below the EMA 10, below the EMA 50. This was another potential entry. We going down for 50, and you would have gotten 50 pips over here, 15 pips stop loss. That would have been my entry, 15 pips. And so I just want to show you guys how to add it on. So I'm gonna just remove mine. So you go to indicators. I know I have it right here because I have it as one of my favorites. So I type moving, go into type moving average, exponential. That's 1, 2, 3. I just touch it 3 times because I know they're loading up on the chart. First one, first thing I can do is change the input, the length. Let's do the 3, EMA 3. I'm gonna change it to red. I'm gonna change it to red. Change the thickness so that I can see it. Hit OK, and then I move down, go to settings. I'm gonna do this one to 10. So I want to go blue. Input EMA 10. Go back to style to change the thickness. Hit OK. And then the last one would be the 50, EMA 50. Change the thickness. Change it to 50. And I hit OK. And now we good to go. We're good to go. And we could go back all the way to where price is right now. We can potentially get a cross on this at the close of this candle. And that's very important to close, because if you pay attention to this current candle right now, if you pay attention to it, let me zoom in some more. As price moves, you're going to see this EMA move with it. And so when I set my alerts, I always set them to only show me the ones that actually close as a cross. So what I'm saying is, when I add an alert, I just right click on any one of the EMAs, add alert on EMA, and I change it. I want an EMA 3. Whenever it's crossing EMA 10, I can do it for only once, or I can do it once per bar close, or once per bar, once per candle, or once per bar close. So the alert will trigger every time the condition is met at bar close. So in 6 minutes and 45 seconds, if this actually crosses, that's when the alert will come out. If it doesn't, then it won't happen. All right, I believe I have this set already, so I don't want to set another one. ACAD. Okay, no, I don't, but I'll set it anyway. Add alert. EMA 3 crossing EMA 10. Once per bar close. That's AUD CAD. EMA 3 crossing EMA 10. And then I would have to just come to the chart. If the alert goes off, I would have to come to the chart to see if it actually is below. Oh, okay, I got too much on it. I got too much alerts. I'm about to delete those. Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. So we can scan the market and see. We know we can come back in 5 minutes. This may be another cross here below the 50. So if it crosses below the 10, we'll be good to go. AJ, once this candle stays bearish, we're gonna get an alert, and because it's below the 50, should be good to go. The only thing that I pay attention to right now is the fact that I on a 15-minute. I gotta remember what time frame I on. I see price basically consolidating. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change time frame, go up, and so I say swing and intraday because the same thing applies on all the time frames. The same thing. So we got a cross here. Let's find a cleaner one. We have a cross here. We have red cross above the blue. Red cross above the blue here. This would have been my entry. The only difference is your stop loss is going to be different based on the different time frames. 15 still work, but I probably wouldn't use 15 on the hour chart. And I won't use 50 pips TP either for the hour chart. I know I go in higher for more pips. I already know. So we had a crosshair above as well. The crosshair, we just measure it. This candle here probably would have given me the cross. Hardly any drawdown, and then that's 172 pips, 775 pips, basically. And then you could do the same thing, riding it down. No crosshair. This crosshair is invalid because it's crossing below the 50, below the 10, above the 50, so it doesn't work. Doesn't work there. This one here would have been a small move, and sometimes you're just gonna have to protect your account. This would have been my entry. I'll take 25 pips any day. Across below here as well, below the 50. A little bit of drawdown. I would take my 25 pips. I really don't like this consolidation right here, but I wouldn't fool with this. It's too jumbled up to see what's going on. I like my trades to be clear as day. This cross is below the 50. This here would have given us that there. So this one here, I haven't even mind price going back to the 50 EMA to give us a retest to confirm that the trend is changing. A retest up here, and then when we get that cross down again, that would be perfect. Let's go up to the 4 hour, see if we see something. 4 hour, we have a cross here above the 50. Above the 50, could have gotten 93 pips, short period of time, relatively short period of time. So your target can increase on the higher the time frame. We could change pairs and all that, so know that I ain't make nothing up, I ain't forcing nothing, I ain't study nothing. It is what it is. We got the cross, 100 pips, 160 pips. Easy money. Another cross here. I'll use this candle as my entry. Let me close this in. Another 80 pips here off. Just a simple cross. Just waiting for two lines to cross. They cross down below the 50, so now we're gonna sell because the 3 cross below the 10. This would be my entry. Get a little bit of drawdown, nothing much, but price come down easy, 60 pips, no headache, relatively short period of time. We can do this all day. Let's go up to the day chart. Same thing applies. We're looking for crosses above the 10, above the 50, right? Happen here. And the thing is with the day chart is that you don't necessarily have to put a high target on this. So this probably would have been my entry. Price would have gone 17, 20 pips in profit probably before even coming back down here for 30 pips. I would take that. I would take that 20 pips any day. Stop loss at break even. I already take a partial profit. I okay. I personally won't be trading this on the day. I rather use the market structure and just look at it straight up and enter. Stick to what I know. I know about that. This here, I normally use this on the 15 minute. I have a lot of different opportunities. So where I would have been looking on a buy on AN here, I would have get into this sell a lot quicker for these couple of pips here. This would have been my entry, and I would take them small pips quick and get out of there. So TP1, TP2, up to you what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to use what I give. If you use any TP. So we got an alert on silver for the EMAs. Let's see if it's valid. All right, no, it's not valid on silver because it crossed below above the 50, so no setup. And then GA, GA is valid. So GA, if you want to, you can go ahead and put in a buy order on GA and just go for 10 pips for now with a 15 pip stop loss. Remember I told you guys some pairs are gonna require more than 15 pips. I believe GA is one of them, or GCAD, one of the two, because they move a lot. But let me get in this one. Okay, we can sit and we can watch this, but I stop loss and take profit done said it don't matter no more. I already know what to do, and I see it happen on the chart here. It crossed, price went up. It crossed, price went up. It crossed up here, price went up a little bit, came back down, still found support on the 50. So you have different layers. You have different layers. Like if this cross happens now, like it did, you have this layer here of support that price needs to break through first to actually get to your stop loss. So I mean, I know my stop loss is 15. Price will have to actually get there. If I see it like this, where price is close to the 50 EMA, I would just drop it about 5 pips below the EMA just to protect my account. But when you go back on the chart, let me just give you guys the homework now before I go. And then this is for your benefit. I didn't need nothing to turn in. This is 100% for you. I want you to pick one pair. I want you to add the EMAs, the EMA 3, EMA 3, EMA 10, EMA 50. Add them to your chart, and I want you to go back on the chart anywhere, whatever time frame you trade on. I want you to go back and just find me 10 setups. Remember, the 3 has to cross above the 10, above the 50. So this would be a good example. This would be trade 1, and you could label it. Probably just say 1, trade 1, and then you could go back and find another one. And this is going to help you as a trader. Are we looking at the candle close? Remember that. So if you see a cross here, this candle is where the alert will come out. And so this would be your second trade. This would be, you would enter on the second candle. How much ever pips you want to go for, whether it be 50, 25, 20, 10, up to you. Make sure put your stop loss in place. Whatever stop loss you want to use. And just let me know if you see that. Just do 10 of them, find 10 of them. So if that's 1, there's 2. Just do 10 and you let me know the results. You don't care if you could go back from 92, 95, 2005, whenever, and you just let me know how much out of the 10 were successful. Like I say, send that computer turn in, it's gonna help you in your trading journey. It's not for my benefit. I only benefit from seeing you guys make money. That's the excitement that I get. That's my payment. That's all I get over it. So just identify 10 of them. Whatever your TP is, if you just want to run it all the way to where price stop, that's fine, and just count them. So this would be like 3, and then this would be like 2, and just do 10 of them, and then let me know. All right. So I'm gonna stop the recording now.